Hello, I'm Will Wagner, and this is Degenerate Ramblers, Volume 2, Episode 2. Who gives a fuck? Alright, so I figure I'll start with this. I'm going to call this episode, Who Do I Think I Am? So my name is actually Jonathan William Wagner. I go by Will just because it's easier. Like if you're on stage, somebody is just like, here's Will Wagner. Like you're not really going to have to wonder, like, what did they say? I mean, it might still happen, but like with Jonathan or John Wagner, like people always spell my name wrong. And that's fine. Like I'm not that sensitive about it. It's just easier. Like just as somebody who has been sitting in like the audience and I've been wondering, like, what did that person say? Like David Biori, for example, you know, he spells his last name like D-B-O-R-I-E, right? Like that's so hard. Like if you don't already know how to spell that, like you're not going to know how to spell that. And that's just one of the people that actually like it gave me an example of that, because I saw him do a set for Dan Soder, and I had to message one of the people that was, I think it was even Dan. I can't even remember if it was Dan or somebody else. And I had to ask because I was like, who was that guy? I didn't know who that was. But there's also people, like I always like to say, like Kumail Nanjiani, like I know how to spell his name, like Kumailnanjini. So, like, you know, so I mean, his name's also not that hard. Like, more like once you know how to spell it, like it's not really going to trip you up that much. But anyway, that's why I go by Will. It's just easy to remember. The tricky part about that is, though, that I have a trans mom, and that is her dead name. So she gave me her first name. That was like the tradition through our family. You know, when she was my dad, you know, she gave me her first name as my middle name. And what's awesome too is, like, I don't know how she feels about it. Like, we don't talk. It's not because of the trans thing. I mean, it might be because of the trans, but like, it's not. Like, it might be because, like, maybe like the hormones and stuff like changed her. You know, like I just couldn't stand the person that she became, like personality-wise, like even more narcissistic, even more everything's about me, even more. I know it'd be the same thing, but you know what I'm saying? Like it was literally just too much. And like she was like, anyway. So long story short, I go by Will. And when I was growing up, like, she would always tell me how important it was to, like, recycle. So, you know, she can't really be mad. You know, at least it's not going to waste. But anyway, so, like, when I was a kid, like, my parents got divorced, and I, like, never knew why or anything. She would always tell me, you'll find out when you're older, or, you know, I'll let you make that decision on your own, you know, I'm not gonna. So I give my mom credit on that, like, you know, she could have, like, went crazy and, like, told me everything, you know, from the get-go, or told me all of the things that turned out to be true. But I guess she just didn't want to, I don't know, I don't know, she just didn't want me to be prejudiced or nothing. Like, she just didn't, she wanted me to come to my own conclusions, or maybe my dad, like at the time, maybe my dad, the person who was my dad, maybe they were treating me differently. Turns out they didn't. So, and she's lucky that I'll even refer to her as, just because of everything that's happened and her narcissistic ways, and the things that she said and the things that she's accused me of doing that I never did. And that's one thing that really pissed me off, man. Like, you accuse me of doing something, and it's like, I didn't even do that. Now I don't even get the gratification or the gratification of doing the thing that you said I got to do. Like, man, that's not fair. At least let me do the thing. Like, you want me to do the thing, But, so yeah, I lived with my then dad, it was like 1999, I remember. It was like December 30th. It was actually December 31st, like 1998. We drove up from like Jacksonville, Florida, up to Wisconsin. I remember we were in like Tennessee and like the mountains somewhere when it actually hit like midnight. Because I remember I think it was the Prince song, the party like it's 1999. The one that's like about Nostradamus and the world ending. I remember and she had like stopped. This is how great of a parent, stopped and got like a wine cooler and let me taste it. Like, I was 10 years old, dog. Like, what am I doing drinking? I don't care how weak it is. That's crazy. And guess what? I love those things now. I've always had an affinity for those like Kool-Aid ass damn malt drinks that'll give you a damn headache. Sweet wines, like anything like that. Shit, one day I want to take some like orange juice, some like Simply Orange or apple juice, and turn that into freaking wine. But anyway, so yeah, I lived up there, and there was even like a blizzard that hit. Like, as soon as we got into town, like it had just started snowing, and then like it blizzarded horrendously. Like, it piled like between. There was like I don't know, like maybe like a 20-foot space between my grandma's house and her garage. It was like a part of the yard, there was just like a chunk of space there. I mean, I was a kid then now, but like I remember it being like completely filled in with snow. Like, not from us shoveling it in there or anything, but just from it falling. And I mean, I'm sure you can. It was like I said, like December 31st or January 1st, somewhere around there, when the blizzard actually hit, January 1st or 2nd. Like, I'm not sure, like the actual, because like we're driving, and I don't think we made it all the way through. We might have. I don't remember. I don't think we did. I remember like getting there. I remember at one point it was like negative 10 degrees out, and it was like, I remember being scared of that because I was like a kid. I was like, oh my god, am I gonna die? Like, it's like the air gonna kill me. It's negative 10 degrees out. But so we went to Wisconsin, I started school and all that, and then people always ask, like, when did you know you were funny? Were you always funny? Were you always the class clown? I wasn't like a class clown, but I would always like try to be funny. Like I would just try to make jokes, and whether they were funny or not, I mean, that's the risk you took, right? Like sometimes like the joke doesn't land, but and even in like awkward situations, like the Bare Naked Ladies song, where I like to laugh at a funeral. Don't understand what I mean, but you soon will. Like that's like a thing. Like it's always been hard to deal with like the real emotions of things. Which nowadays, like any type of thing will make me tear up, cry. Like anything heavy and emotional will turn me into a damn. I won't like be weep. I won't like be like like bawling, but I'll be crying. There'll be tears coming out my eyeballs. I always lose my train of thought. Like Bert Kreischer, I interrupt my damn self. But yeah, so people always ask, like, how do I know I was funny? So it was like the third grade, I think, that I did when I was up there, or half of the third grade, or finished the third grade. And it was like English class, and they asked us like to memorize and recite a poem in front of class. And I knew the poem that I should do and I wanted to do. It was like a poem by Shel Silverstein called like Scale. I can't remember it. If I weren't driving, I would just pull it up and recite it. But basically it's a guy saying that like he's lost a bunch of weight. Like he knows he's lost weight, he's been healthy, blah blah blah. But like when he looks down, he can't see past his gut to see the weight on the scale. So it's just like a funny, when I was a kid, even I had a belly. So like it was like a way that like I knew I should have done that, and it would have been funny to do. But I just didn't do it because I didn't want people to like turn on me and like make fun of me even more. But that's probably not what would have happened. And even when I got older, I asked. I think I was like 19 years old, and I asked my one friend. I was like, "Man, how do you like laugh at yourself? How do you make fun of yourself? Like, how do you like?" Because I feel like people tease me or they laugh at me and stuff, and like I don't want that to be done even more. And he was just like, "Well, when you do it to yourself, like people don't do it as much to you." And I just. It was hard to wrap my around. Like I'd heard of that concept, obviously, but like it's just hard to wrap your head around that. Like people would call me Waggy because I told them that like when I was a kid I had a pig and we named it Waggy, so they started calling me Waggy. And I was like, so you're calling me a pig, and you're using my last name against me. That's why I was like, I don't know if I could ever do those roast battles, man, because like I'm sorry, like sometimes I just can't take that shit, like I'm not gonna get like mad, but it sucks being the person that other people are making fun of whenever most of the time I've heard these jokes, or it's a variation of the joke. It's a updated cultural variation on a hack version of a joke. Like people trying to joke around and say that, I need like 3 mirrors just to take a picture of my dick, and things like that. Or like I wouldn't even need like a pressure washer. I would need like or a bidet. I would need like a pressure washer or something. Which isn't even that far from the truth. I mean, one of the jokes that I like to close on whenever I do like a actual set that I'm supposed to be being solid on. I've only done one of those. Is a joke where I make fun of my own stomach, and I have other jokes before that where I'm making fun of my weight. So it's nothing new. What in the hell? I have had like the idea though to like do a set and not even mention my weight until like out of nowhere, and then like see if it gets a laugh. But yeah, so that was like the third grade. I moved back to Jacksonville. That I think it was at the end of that summer. So I finished. It was like January to like May or whatever, and then I finished up that summer, moved back home, just to find out, surprise, we're moving from Jacksonville, Florida, in the city, to random ass Blackshear, Georgia. We were living in the city there too, but it's not. I'm saying it's not the same kind of city. So that was a bit of a whiplash. They were throwing me around a lot. And apparently, when I was a kid, they moved around a lot too. Before I ever like really remembered, I do remember living in like a big old house in like Mandarin, Florida. That had a big old whatever that is when you walk in like an atrium or something with like the glass and foyer. I don't know what the hell it's called, but I also remember being a kid and I stole like a candy from the gas station and my dad found it and he claimed that he like called the police on me, and then like we had to go take my brother to karate, so like the police officer was on the way or whatever, but we left because he took too long. So then like as we were leaving, a police officer drove by the house, or drove by it. Like we were just leaving the suburbs, so it wasn't like, oh, a random cop. I mean, it might have been, but like what I'm saying is like there's a good chance that he really did call the damn cops, because it was like we just left our neighborhood and then turned left onto the road that like other neighborhoods were connected to, but it was still like this. It was still that road. But I never learned. I mean, I still ended up stealing from my mom and stealing from Walmart and crap when I was a kid. I was a bad kid. I was a bad little kid. But anyway, I don't know how, when. I don't know how I got to be witty or funny. I really don't. I know that in the sixth grade, maybe it was just like playing games on the internet. I don't even know. Like in the sixth grade, I don't even think I had, like, all I had was like StarCraft online. So maybe like, I guess I could have been witty just from watching that. When I was a kid too, we used to watch a lot of comedy, so we would watch like Last Comic Standing. Like I remember a joke from that Ralphie May did from Last Comic Standing, which he got robbed. If y'all don't know this, y'all need to look. He got robbed. Like damn, that fan was like repeating material, and crap like that. And I don't know, it was something crazy like that. I can't remember exactly what happened, but he definitely got robbed. But anyway, so Dad, I remember a joke though that Ralphie May had done, where he was like, gas prices are $2.22. Too damn much or too damn high. I've always remembered that joke since then. Because anytime that gas like gets that price or anywhere similar to that, like I always remember that. And now it's damn. I wish gas was that. And I know that's fucking hack to talk about, but damn, when I fucking driven damn 40,000 miles since September, over 1,000 gallons I put in this car, and it's premium. It's not exactly. I don't exactly not have a reason to complain. I will say that I'm glad I ain't no diesel truck driver. They're paying about the same price or more, and they get way less fuel efficiency than I do. So shout out to them. I don't know how they're doing it. But yeah, when I was in the 6th grade, I don't know how, don't know why I was funny, but I got most huggable, which is like, I don't know if that was, I don't know why they gave it to me, but like when you're a big kid and they give that to you, you're like, yo, what the fuck? Because it was like Miss McQuaig, I think was her name. I think she was an English teacher there, too. Every time I went into her, every time I was like go into her class, I would give her a hug to start the day. I don't know why either, man. I don't know why. I had some emotional fucking trauma. I had some emotional baggage. Some real fucking embarrassing shit too. When I was a kid, my I used to play Rainbow Six 3 on the Xbox, on Xbox Live. It wasn't long after this. I think I was 15. It was like January 11th, 2002. 2003? I don't know. I used to remember, obviously. But there was like this guy on like this black dude on there, and his son, his name was like Superman, but he spelled it like Suprmn, and he was from like the Chicago area. And I was so like desperate for like a father figure because my dad had just left and everything, and or however long before, a few years before. I was so desperate for a father figure that like, man, it's so awkward to talk about. Like I was like trying to arrange to go like stay at their house because like I was so close with them. Like we used to play games all the time and everything. And we were so cool and shit. And then one day, like this guy that was like friends with all like his friends and everybody else's friends, like he claimed that he came into a room that I was in, like a game that I was in, and I was saying the N-word a bunch, and I'm like, that didn't even happen. Like what? Like this guy was just so jealous that everyone liked me that he came in there and just like made up all this bullshit. And like that's just fucking crazy. Because like I knew the guy, he was on my friends list. So for one, I would have known that he was in there. For two, that's not something that happened. and I had to fight to get in see. And a lot of people didn't even believe him. He was just like, "Oh no, it's just white people." Like, no. And that it really sucked too, because like I said, I was obviously desperately looking for a father figure. And like I said, I didn't. If you're gonna accuse me of something, at least give me the gratification of doing the thing. You know what I'm saying? but for real though, that's just bullshit, man. Like, my whole life, people just love to lie on me. So many people have misconceptions about me. When I was 22 or something, I was at this party with this girl, and I was talking to her, but it was my girlfriend, or the girl that I was trying to get with, best friend, and we were just talking the whole night, and we were literally just talking about my friend, and we were talking about her boyfriend. So we weren't even we weren't flirting or nothing. We were just talking. I was just like, man, I love her so much. I really like her so much, whatever. Because we had been together before, but we were kind of working to get back together. So the party was taking place at the girl that I was trying to get back with her at her brother's house. So she texts me home the next morning, because she was she was at the party too, but she had done passed out, and we were just all up, And the next morning, she takes me home, and then she was supposed to come get me again, but then she got back home, and then she just blocked me because her damn brother, her brother lied and said that me and her friend were flirting all night. Like I said, I swear to God, we were literally. Sure, I can see how it looks like that from outside. If you're not in the conversation, because no one wants to talk to you, dog. But no, that's not what was happening, dude. This little fake wannabe rapper who wanted to pretend that he used to go around lying to people, saying that he wrote the Lollipop song by Lil Wayne. Oh, that's how pathetic this dude was. This little white fake wannabe rapper. But But yeah, it's just one of the many examples of people lying on me. So yeah, when I was a kid, like I said, I got the most huggable and I got most witty award. So I still don't get why. I know why, because I was funny. I just don't know how I got to be funny. I don't I don't know how people know these things. I watch all these podcasts and people will say I didn't, I know it was March 23rd, 1994. And I don't remember all. I guess I mostly remembered the day I started playing Xbox Live, but I don't know. Comedy was never. That's what's so funny. We used. Man, I gotta write this down. We use comedy, or a lot of us, who grew up we would use comedy as a way of survival, But it never occurred to me to use comedy as a way of survival, of sustaining your life, of providing for yourself, of you just never. It should never click to me like that. I wish that I had been working on it. I wish that since I was 14 that I had been trying to do it. Instead, I've wasted so much of my life just playing video games. And like for a while, I wanted to like competitively play video games. That's what people wanted me to do. Then other people were like, "Well, why don't you do something with computers?" You know, not a single person in my entire life ever told me, "Why don't you try to be a comedian?" Like they've all known I was funny. They all said I was smart, you know, but no one ever like even. I swear to God, there's not a single person in my whole entire life who ever said that. Maybe I just wasn't funnier than them. But I mean, damn, if I'm getting a damn superlative in school, you'd think somebody. But oh well, better late than never. I guess I'm just mad because it's taken me 4 years to even get on a stage, to even think, to even want to muster up the courage to get on a stage since I knew that I wanted to do it. So, I mean, if I had, if when I was 14, 23 years ago, you know, even if I had taken a while, you know, I still might have been 10 years on stage at that point. Instead, the first time I was on stage was December 18th of last year. And here we are, you know, June, just past 18th. So, I mean, you might as well say it's only been 6 months. I mean, shit. But who knows, too? Like, I might have also made a lot of mistakes. I might have not known a lot, you know? I might have learned a lot, too. I might have been, you know, I know I would have been a completely different person. And it's nice when people say, hey, man, you're really funny. You got it. I need that. God, I need that so much. I may not act like it, but I really do. Without being told that I was funny, I never would have. Without like another comedian saying, "Hey, tell me some of your bits. Tell me the things that you've written. Go through your phone and talk to me. Like, you know, like let me know. Like, you know, give me a sample." Without somebody doing that to me, who knows how much longer it would have been. Because like I met Lance Weiss, my buddy Lance. I can't remember now. 2-3 years ago now. It's so random how the world works. So like somebody that he used to go to school with in Brunswick was selling a statue, like a Carnage, like from Spider-Man, a Carnage statue at like a little statue thing on eBay, or not on eBay, on Facebook Marketplace, and I was buying it from her. I don't know how we got on the subject of comedy, but that's how the world works, like I said. And you know, she said, "Well, I used to go to school with a guy who does comedy now. He's like, he lives in New York and everything." And I was like, "Really? What's his name?" And she told me and everything, and I looked up, and it was like, I'm not even kidding. I think that night he had happened to be down, or it was like the night after or something like that. He had happened to be back down in Florida, which he only did like he'll do that maybe like every other month or something. So I mean, sure, I guess there was a okay chance, but it's still, you know, happened to be doing it. But anyways, he was on a Don't Tell show in Jacksonville. I think he told like. I ended up messaging him and reaching out to him and everything, and I can't remember the whole story because I'm old. But like I said, I think that he told me to buy the ticket, or it was something like that. So I got the ticket and I met him, and we talked afterwards. And he was just like, "Dude, man, if you want to do it, do it. If you want to do it, do it." We talked a lot about comedy. You know, we talked for a while. It was like 20 minutes, 30 minutes. I mean, that's a while to talk to somebody after a show, you know, and I kind of helped with the chairs a little bit. Not a lot, but a little bit. But yeah, we talked a lot, and he was just like, "Man, you should do it. If you want to do it, you should do it, man. I mean, it's the only way you're going to do it is to do it, you know? So you should do it." You know, and he's told me try to put me on shows and try to do me, or not do me, try try to get me to do a show for years and years now. Damn, 2 years now, 3 years now. And but like it's been something or another. It's either been I've backed out or I couldn't find parking the one time that I was going to get up and do like 5 minutes. And I've also just backed out a lot because, I'm just, I don't know, I'm just afraid of being judged by other comedians. But it's better, I've tried to come to the realization that it's better to be judged by comedians as a comedian than it is to be, judged, than it is to be judged as like a person by comedians, So I have sometimes I feel like comedians kind of look down on regular people. I know that's true because I've tried to hang out with comedians like so many damn times now, and they just, I don't know, they either think that I'm like trying to be a climber, which I'm not. I don't have a lot of friends, I don't. So it's just, I don't know. I feel like those are the only people that I could be friends with are like comedians. People who aren't going to judge you for the jokes you make. The things that you say literally just in jest. Things that you say just to get a reaction from people. Just to get but if you say it around the wrong people, oh no, you're a bad guy. It's like, which is what comedy is. I mean, comedy is taking risks and taking jokes. But anyway, so after however many attempts, however many tries, however many shows, however many times we've hung out, finally, what was it now, like not even a month ago now, like 3-4 weeks? So a week ago was the second one. 2 weeks before that was the one that I went to. So it was like 3 weeks ago now or something like that. I can't do math right now. But finally, after years, Lance actually got to see me do stand-up. So I took like a class, and he was supposed to come in one of the weeks before, just to surprise and just sit in and talk to people, but he couldn't make it. And then he arranged something with Sean to like actually like come and sit down and, come in with one of his other friends. And it was, it was great. Like we talked to them during the class and everything. And well, the thing is like that, like, so that day I had already done like a 5-minute set of new jokes. And then I was up there trying out like a joke or two. And then like Sean said something like, don't look at the door, no one's here. And of course it made me look at the door and immediately get nervous. So I just said, okay. So I just got off the stage. Because he's my friend and like he's, my mentor and he's someone I look up to. And I don't know why, I just got so nervous. And I've sent him videos and I just don't think he's ever watched them because he's always so damn busy. I mean, Lance does a show a night, dude. He does, and I don't care how big the damn shows is. He works more than almost anybody I've heard of. Shit, I mean, if I worked as much as he did, Jesus. But again, I mean, he's been doing it for as long as I should have been doing it. But yeah, so I did that class. We took a comedy class. I'm going to do a second one. Almost every week of the comedy class, I did like, I don't know if I should have done this, but like I did like new jokes every week because I just wanted to try different things out. So I have so much material to like draw on, to test to see if it's good. That I mean, I might as well. The problem is though, is that I'm not off book. Like I'm always going to be attached to my damn phone. I feel like, so I'm going to have to find like if I don't know what I'm going to have to do. Because on the showcase, I had to be on my damn phone the whole time. But I think I did well though, especially for the fact that a lot of those jokes that I wrote or that I did, I came up with like that day, like on the way to the comedy class. I was driving and just I was like writing it down, like talking or not writing it down, but talking to my phone and like editing the jokes, listening to it back, and then editing it and making sure it sounded right and doing that and doing that and doing that and doing that like 100 times over until I got there. And I mean, that's all I could do is try. Like I said, I think I did pretty well. I mean, people said I did well and said I was funny, and I got plenty of laughs. And just man, like I just can't get it out of my head. There was like a lady in the front row. She kept staring at my damn stomach. I guess it was good that I did, because like I said, I closed with that joke about my stomach, But I had multiple jokes about being big. I mean, the first joke I had was about being big. But yeah, though, then yeah, the open mic that I did, the first one that I did, I like it because he does like this. Some people don't like it, like the idea of it, but I like it. The double header thing. So he does like everybody does like 5 minutes, and then if you want to do another set, you can do another 5 minutes after. I like that. Like, why not? Not everybody has to stay and do another 5. Not anybody has to do all that. I'm thinking about hosting an open mic, so it's like a good idea too to think about things like that. Like maybe if I did something similar, but maybe I could like give people the option of doing a longer set, and then like I can rearrange it for the second round. Like people who want to do a longer set, you're going to go last, and kind of arrange it like that. But I also don't want to do that until I think I'm like kind of ready. People have already told me I should have been doing that too. I need to be hosting open mics, but I want to make sure that like I'm more confident up there. Like right now I'm faking it, and it's fine because no one can really tell. But like I don't want to fake it. I don't want to get stuck. I mean, I'm getting stuck talking to myself right now, and like that's what stand-up is. You're talking to yourself, just like that's really the best way to do it. Is you're like talking out loud. You're talking to yourself, but yeah, there's like the voices in your head are laughing back. That's what the audience is supposed to be. And when they start talking back, that's when the voices are talking back. You're like, wait, what? You start getting freaked out. So that's like a good way to imagine it, at least. And I watched Make Happy, Bo Burnham's special last night for like the 40th time. But it's the first time that I've watched it since doing stand-up. I don't even think I've watched it since I've wanted to do stand-up. I'm sure I have, but holy shit, does it hit different once you're... Because the whole damn thing is basically just... Or not the whole thing, but a good chunk of it is based... I mean, the special is called Make Happy. He's saying that he's trying to make us happy, but like that's his whole thing. And basically the whole special is about performance anxiety. And he says that after he filmed that special, like he literally had a fucking panic attack. Like he went backstage and had a panic attack. And that's whenever he like stopped doing comedy for a long time. Then he made Inside, and fucking blew up the damn internet with that. But then now he's gone again. But I know that he broke up with the girl that he was with and supported him during that time, which I'm not saying nothing bad. I mean, that's just what happened. And then he got with Phoebe Bridgers, which is crazy because there's like a video of him like just watching Phoebe Bridgers from the audience do a cover of his song. And I don't think, I don't know, I don't think they were together at the time. Maybe they were, but like I think that they weren't though. And apparently he's been helping her too because she's like got an album and a tour and everything coming out. So I'm excited, man. I'm so happy for Bo because like we're about the same age, and ever since I'm Boyo, like ever since he was a kid, I don't even remember where I saw that video. It wasn't YouTube because I remember it was like some random ass site. I don't know if it was like, I know it wasn't E-Bomb's World, but it was something crazy. But watching that as you're a performer, though, if y'all haven't seen that, like, you really gotta watch that. Same with Zach Galifianakis live at the Purple Onion. Like, that's just such, like, a funny... It's like a comedian's special. It's like 4 comedians. Same with Nick Vatterott, For Your Amusement. Like, that's... Like, if you don't get what they're doing, you're not going to get what they're doing. Some people might get it to an extent, but, like, there's still only so much. I'm fucking, like I said, I'm new to doing comedy. It's just, I have done nothing but watch, think, smell, fart, eat, goddamn comedy for 4.5 years now. Like, people don't believe. Like, you don't... I wish people could just understand. I guess they do because they say that my writing's real tight and, like, I do well, and I just don't... I mean, it helps to be told that I'm doing good, and I need to be told, like I've already said. But damn, like, how much, like, it, like, does it, like, it's just... It's like, I'm so afraid. I think that must be a big part of it. I'm so afraid of doing bad that I put off doing comedy for a while because of that. But because of that, I've put a lot of time and effort into writing and learning and thinking and eating and farting comedy to make up for it. Because if I had been saying for damn 4.5 years that I wanted to do comedy, but I wasn't writing down every funny thing I thought, or if I wasn't, talking to my phone and having to transcribe everything, and it's not even everything I thought. Like, that's a line that I've like kind of stolen from Kanye. Sometimes I'll be like, man, I forgot funnier things than you've ever said, like because he has that line and he's like, I've forgotten better lines than you ever thought of, but it's such a good line. I don't care. I always credit him if I say that, but it's so applicable to other things. But really, like, it was bumming me out for a while though, because I just being friends with other comedians, and like, they just want to give you opportunities because they're friendly, they're nice, people gave them opportunities, so you pay it forward, and they want to see you do well, and I've squandered so many of those, and I wish I didn't. I wish I had just mustered up the courage and gotten up and just done the damn thing, So I think I've ruined, at least I probably ruined like one friendship because of that with a comedian. But like he didn't like warn me. Like I was supposed to be there just to hang out, and then he was like, you know, I can give you some time if you want. And I was like, nah, man, that's cool. Like I don't think I'm ready for all that. And he was like, dude, it ain't no big deal, dude. Like, you know, don't nobody gonna care. And I was like, no, man, I'm fine. So then he thought that I was like, you know, just full of shit or whatever. But I've told him from the get go that I'm new to this and I've never, you know, but I mean, this guy's been doing comedy longer than I've known more than like 5 comedians' names, you know? So it's like, damn, I'm still a baby. Like sometimes I regret like even befriending some people because I don't want, you know, like I don't want to ruin crap like that. I don't want to ruin anything. Sorry, I was rubbing my eyeball, so I forgot where my brain was trying to go. Yeah, I was worried for a while there because like I was just like feeling like I was just scared. I was so damn scared. I know that happens to everybody. I'm not unique, but I was so scared that I was like, damn, man, am I just never going to get the bug for it? Am I never going to like there's people who are addicted to it. There's people who said they got it there that first time they got those laughs and like that was it for them. That hasn't happened to me. You know, I mean, I feel like I'm working up to it, but that's also because I've built it up a lot, so that's my fault, you know. But I do love comedy. You know, I'm gonna keep going to this open mic until I feel like hosting one. Also got other things happening in my life that's trying to get in the way of that again. That's always how it goes. Every time you think that you're gonna start getting somewhere in life, something wants to jump in the way. You know, a girl wants to leave you and leave you completely out of the blue. I mean, like literally a week or two ago, I left a comment on Instagram about how like it's good to be in a relationship where you don't have a lot of expectations, so that you're not putting too much on the other person, you know. And like that to me, like that's the best relationship I've ever had is the one that I'm in, you know, because like every other relationship I've had too much hopes, expectations, and then I was just always disappointed. But like, you know, I felt like it was my fault, you know, because I was putting too much, like I said, too much pressure on the other person. But really, I mean, honestly, all I was doing was just like, I mean, before, like, all I was doing was just like trying to get people to stay to their word, or you know, just hang out with me once a week or some shit, you know. Well, that's how it is, man. But who do I think I am? I'm just a dude trying to do some comedy, trying to get some laughs. People like to joke about people that put comedy in their Instagram names. I halfway do that just so y'all know that, like, dude, I'm just joking around. Even though, like, most of the time you can tell I'm joking around by, like, how I word it. But people want to get so defensive. I've had, like, other comedians get mad at me all the time because they don't know what I'm trying to say. And I'm like, am I speaking another language here? I must be. The language is comedy, and y'all are just not fluent in it. That's all I can say. Got people literally getting mad at me, snapping on me because I'm not even teasing them or anything. I'm just like adding on to what they said. And they don't understand English, so they misinterpret what I say. So freaking crazy. I guess this person's turning and they're not. Yeah, they're gonna fucking wait until the last second. Yeah, I'm driving, but yeah. Alrighty, I'm sure I could have done a lot more. Long story short, my parents were married. My dad cheated on my mom with men, and then got in a car crash and got a settlement and transitioned to be a woman. And that's where I got, or that's when I decided, maybe I should just use the middle name. It's the alliteration, Will Wagner. It's all there. It's all straight. It's just easy. Will Wagner. If you don't know how to spell Will Wagner, you might not be great at English because, you either spell Will. There's just no. You know what I'm saying? You could mishear it though. Don't get me wrong. You could think they said Ragnar or something. But yeah, the next episode, I don't know what I'm gonna do on. This should have actually been the first one. But things are moving so fast. Like, I wanted to do an episode on everybody being, everyone giving Nate Bargatze crap because he was at the White House. But I think that he was at the White House because he was trying to get investors for Nate Land. He said that already on Theo Vaughn's podcast, that that's the stage he's in. So what better place to get that from than the White House and the UFC, People are getting damn in trouble for doing face crimes. That's what they're called. When your face is seen somewhere, or you're seen laughing at something that you maybe shouldn't have. Alright, I'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Thank you guys. Love you. Oh, yeah, kisses.